All right, let's talk about Baker Mayfield, MVP candidate Baker Mayfield. What a performance here by both quarterbacks. I'm making a Sam Darnold video that I'm going to record right after this one. But this is the Baker Mayfield video, and let's talk about the many things that the Tampa Bay offense was able to do so effectively to ultimately put up the 38 points they needed to win this one 38-35. Let's start off with the play you see on your screen. So the concept itself is interesting, where it's going to be a zone coverage play that the Seahawks are in. The Buccaneers are going to have two receivers towards the offense's left, the two eligible receivers on that side of the field, run deeper routes going more over the middle to try and kind of clear out that area, as it's going to be a third route. I believe it's Cade Otton. I believe I have this right. The numbers were a little bit hard to read, so it's possible I don't have this quite right. But I believe what's happening is then you have tight end Cade Otton going in motion all the way from the offense's right to the offense's left. It's possible I have this wrong, and he's already on the offense's left and is going there. But it's the same kind of effect where you have clear out routes, and you're trying to get to the offense's left. That's where Mayfield wants to throw, and he's going to roll out in that direction as well to kind of try and make the throw a little bit easier and to help sell the play action. Well, when Mayfield takes a snap, play action was sold well. The issue is you do have a defender right in Baker Mayfield's face. I mean, he's going to have to try and make this throw somehow. It is open down the field, but how do you get the ball down there? Well, watch him sidearm almost like he's throwing a frisbee, get the ball all the way past midfield to around the 40-yard line. That's just an incredible play by by Baker Mayfield, really, to be able to make that throw. Well schemed up and all that stuff, but just a great play. Also, heading over here, I had this thought watching the game that you don't really think about this, but I think it's true. So for Baker Mayfield, this is a 3rd down and 4, and the Seahawks are going to run a zone blitz right here. And watch how they're going to do this. Watch how when this play begins, you see how there's pressure kind of towards the offense's right, but they both go with more inside moves. And I really think this is kind of the thing you just can't do against Baker Mayfield. And, he doesn't get credit for being a great rushing quarterback, but he's been a very effective runner. He was effective last year. He kind of really made that part of his game. And I think this year, part of why he's played really the best football we've seen him play through a 5-game stretch is because he's used his legs more. And you see right here, this is just a mistake by Seattle. It wouldn't have been a mistake to do this to rookie season Baker, but now it is a mistake. And watch as Mayfield is going to get outside the pocket. And even at this point, 3rd and 4, like I said, it's a zone blitz, so the other 6 guys in coverage are still looking at Baker Mayfield here. You have a defender who's paying attention to him. But watch Mayfield juke him out to the point where he stumbles. I mean, I wonder if the grass was a little slippery there or something as well. But ultimately, great move by Mayfield, and they're able to pick up a 1st down on 3rd and 4. That's not a lot's open, and he's finding a way to make something work. Also, this next one, it's also a 3rd down and 4 situation. Seahawks, it was one of those weird situations where Baker Mayfield left the field and the Buccaneers were up 13-0. And then by the time he got back on the field, they're down 14-13 because the Seahawks scored at the end of the first half and then at the beginning of the second half. So, okay, well, don't want to go 3 and out here. I mean, think about how much momentum would be going Seattle's way if that's what happens. Seahawks are showing pressure right here, but they're not going to. They're going to drop back and play zone. And this is the other real valuable thing about Baker Mayfield's game is he just can read defenses so well, not just pre-snap, but post-snap. Watch as he takes a snap, reads, okay, pressure isn't coming. I have time, looks down the field, and now's the other aspect. So since Seattle didn't send a pressure, the issue is everyone's trying to get back into where they need to be. They're trying to get back to their spots. Chris Godwin for Tampa Bay is open right now. He won't stay open for forever, but Mayfield essentially is just going to try and hit Godwin before Seattle realizes this and is able to cover it up. As you see, he does exactly that. Really well thrown ball by Mayfield, but just a good read. And again, it's difficult where it's like, it really feels like you can't make a mistake. And if you try to disguise, obviously Tampa Bay fans saw this very well in the Tom Brady years. And I'm not saying Mayfield is Tom Brady, but he has sometimes similar type of play style where he'll read the defense and just put the ball in the right spot. And then also he has the ability to just make splash plays. And, this video has gone on far too long without mentioning Ibuka's name. So let's talk about the rookie who is probably the front runner to win Offensive Rookie of the Year at this point. I mean, Ted McMillan's having a great day in Carolina, but just the Buccaneers have a better offense, better vehicle for him to get the trophy, right? Almost like in the Oscars, where it's, sometimes it's not just about having the best performance, but you have to be in a movie that's going to get recognition as well. Maybe it's something like that with Ibuka, and he's playing awesome too. This play, you see, it's going to essentially be a one-on-one matchup on a 3rd and 13. There's only a single safety deep, and the safety is not going to pay enough attention to Ibuka, which is the wrong call, right? And it's worth mentioning, Seattle had a bunch of injuries in their secondary. Both teams had a bunch of secondary injuries, which is part of why this game went the way it did. But you're going to see, I'll use this angle, you see that route by Ibuka just really blowing by the corner. Cut back over here now. Sorry for a bit of weird editing. As I'm watching this now, as recording, I realize it's maybe not as smooth as I thought it was when I put it together, but nonetheless. Now watch this throw from Mayfield. Again, the flick of the wrist and the way the ball just explodes off his hand. Really underrated arm talent, I think, from Mayfield. The guy has an absolute cannon of an arm. He was drafted first overall for a reason, gets the ball to Ibuka. They're able to pick up that big completion and get inside the 5. Ultimately, they were able to punch it in and again, continue scoring and continue taking the lead. They go up 28-21. They finally get stopped. Next thing you know, the Seahawks have a 7-point lead. And that brings us to here. So this is Tampa Bay's down 7 points, a minute 15 left in the game. And it's just one of those situations where, like, you're almost thinking you don't want to score right away, but you kind of have to, right? You can't try to score a touchdown and also have no time on the clock, especially when Seattle has all 3 timeouts. Like, you just got to get into the end zone and hope something good can happen. So for Seattle, they're playing man coverage right here, just trying to see if they can man up against Tampa Bay's receivers. The zone stuff wasn't working so well. And as you see, when Mayfield takes a snap, hey, Seattle, give them credit. They're covering well on this play. Not really. I've circled all 5 eligible receivers for Tampa Bay. There's not really an option here for Baker Mayfield. Now, part of what's helping is they're actually only having a 3-man rush right here, so that's part of how you're able to get coverage down the field. But nonetheless, a strategy that kind of worked. But for Mayfield, hey, 3-man rush, why not look around in the field and see what can happen? So that's what he's going to do. He's going to just bide a little bit more time, and you see right here. So now you have a situation where this is Sterling Shepard, the player who Mayfield and Shepard, they connect with very well. They have very good chemistry. But for Mayfield to make this throw, I mean, he's going to be off balance. It's a pretty far distance down the field. It's about 25 yards down the field. I mean, it's a dangerous play if you're going to try and make it. However, you see he is able to do it. And again, he's just making these high-level throws so consistently. It's hard to really view this as anything other than like a play that you just trust him to make at this point. It's pretty remarkable, the performance he was able to pull off. And again, I think that the most remarkable thing is not only did he not turn the ball over, but there were no turnover-worthy plays. He's had games earlier this season where he's gotten a little lucky with the turnovers. Here, absolutely, completely no play that you look at and say, well, got away with one there. Everything was just on the money. Everything was precise. It was one of the best games I think you've ever seen from a Buccaneers quarterback, and Tom Brady played for that team for 3 years. I mean, that's saying something. Mayfield also had a game against the Packers. I believe that was last year, or no, 2 years ago maybe. It was 2 years ago when he had a perfect passer rating. That was pretty good too. Obviously, Brady in the Super Bowl you could bring up, but this is top 5 probably, I think, for me. Like this was remarkable. So yeah, really good game by Baker Mayfield. A huge win for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. That's what I think about all that. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from you. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.